Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, one of the jurors in the last Oath Keepers trial that I just told you guys about, she gave an interview and she made some really stunning statements. The juror is a 30 plus year employee of C-SPAN, and she agreed to an interview with one of her colleagues from C-SPAN. She identified herself only as Ellen, no last name was given. And one of the most stunning things that she said was that if she was ever accused of a crime, she would not want a jury trial. Ellen said that she would opt for a bench trial. This is after her experience of being on a jury. And she said it was because, quote, I would never want my fate in the hands of people who are mostly completely ill-equipped to understand what's going on. That's pretty telling and pretty shocking. Apparently, she said she and one other juror who happened to be an attorney had to helm many of the deliberations in the jury room. And according to Ellen, some of the jurors failed to follow all of the details in the trial. Like they just didn't catch some things. Then she said others appeared to have preconceived notions that you just can't convict any defendant regardless of the facts of the case. However, she said when it came to the question of obstructing an official proceeding, the jury found it fairly easy to convict 4 of the 6 defendants because all 4 of them had entered the Capitol on January 6th. Ellen also shared that jurors had a lot of sympathy for 2 defendants in particular, Benny and Sandra Parker. They're a married couple. They're a little bit older than the rest of the people who were indicted. And Ellen described their story as, quote, heartbreaking. She said it was because she believed that they, quote, stumbled into something. But the Parkers, as with several others, basically sealed their own fate because, in Ellen's opinion, 3 out of the 4 defendants who testified on their own behalf harmed their own case. So, for example, she said that Benny Parker's testimony helped to convince the jury that the Oath Keepers did, in fact, have a plan to attack the Capitol, pre-planned this whole thing. And his testimony harmed the other defendants in that way as well, including his own wife, Sandra. However, it was Parker's interview with a foreign news outlet that she said sealed his fate. Evidently, in this interview, Parker acknowledged that what they were doing was likely illegal, but he said, quote, there's so many of us, what could they possibly do to us? So he knew it was probably illegal, but, we're just going to overwhelm them. He also said, quote, we're prepared to bring arms. And defendant Connie Meigs did herself no favors by testifying either. Apparently, she made such implausible statements on the witness stand that she just lost all credibility with the jury. And then in regard to the trial itself, Ellen said that she found a lot of the defense attorneys to be ineffective or just appalling. So, for example, Ellen said that the attorney for Oath Keeper Laura Steele didn't even try, in her opinion, to mount a defense, didn't even try to defend her in the case. And then she said that he was repeatedly laughing throughout the trial, and she found it so annoying. So I don't know what that guy's deal is, but, if I was Laura Steele, I'd be looking into maybe trying to get out of the charges because of, a defense that was improper. But another attorney who represented Oath Keeper William Isaacs really pissed off the jury. They were very shocked. He was aggressive and yelling at his client. And he did this on purpose because Isaacs is autistic. And Ellen said that the jury recognized that the attorney was doing this as a stunt, that he was trying to provoke a meltdown. Ellen said, quote, his defense attorney tried to get him to fall apart by yelling at him and not letting him wear his headset. He was torturing his client to get us to feel sympathy. So that really rubbed the jury wrong. Politico spoke with Isaac's attorney, and he said, yeah, I knew I was going to be viewed as a monster. He likened it to somebody kicking a puppy, but he said, you end up hating the person who kicked the puppy, but you feel sympathy for the puppy. And he believed that this was his only hope of obtaining an acquittal for his client. And apparently he ran it past his family first, but Isaacs wasn't in on it because he said, his response had to be organic. It had to be natural and not like it was staged. But the problem was that the judge advised the jury to completely disregard Isaac's autism as a defense. So there was no point in it, other than trying to elicit sympathy. And it just doesn't sound like it worked. I mean, they did feel bad for him, but they did their job. They did not consider his autism when they took into account what they believed he committed in crimes. So anyway, I think the big takeaways here are that we should not have 12 random strangers with varying attention spans, varying intelligence levels and retention levels, deciding the fate of accused criminals. I've heard a lot of people posit the idea of having attorneys as the people who sit on a jury, or for former judges, retired judges. Might be a good idea. And then second, I think it's unwise to testify on your own behalf, unless you're a popular celebrity, because then you can kind of get away with anything. But yeah, average people just don't know when to shut up. They don't understand how one word, one phrase, how the intonation in their voice can change a juror's mind. I just think that it's a stupid, stupid thing. And I can't believe that 4 out of the 6 of those defendants, their attorneys, went along with that. So anyway, guys, if I hear any more, I'll let you know. People are all up in arms saying, oh, this juror was biased, blah, blah, blah. No, she wasn't biased. She said herself, she was surprised. She made it a point of bringing it up that she worked for C-SPAN and that some of her colleagues were at the Capitol on January 6th, that, they reported on it. They weren't personally attacked, but other journalists were. Other journalists had their equipment damaged, even though they did not. But she told them up front, hey, I worked at C-SPAN for over 30 years. And everybody went along with it. The defense attorneys approved her. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like this video, share it with your friends and family, or even strangers. I don't care. I'm not picky. And subscribe to the channel. Still have a lot of people watching who are not subscribed. Greatly appreciate it because it really helps with Google and YouTube algorithms and stuff. And if you can support the show financially, that is also a massive help to keep it going until I can get a larger subscriber base and more people willing to throw down dollars for advertising. Not really getting a lot of YouTube love in that way. So thank you so much. Love you all. Have a great weekend. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.